Take your finger out of your nose. Come on. Okay. Hey, everybody. It's Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone. Thank you for coming to be silly with us on April Fool's Day for PoliTarology. I have a whole bunch of wonderful people as my guests tonight. I have Gerald Tarot Stash. I have a whole bunch of wonderful people. Okay, somebody's got to mute.
I just got rid of mine. Sorry, everyone.
No problem. And then we have Queen Goddess Isis. I know. Yes. Who gets you the primo guest? Huh? The Cool Crone.
That's
get you.
Right. I am only specially coming all the way from Egypt to.
Wow.
That's far, huh?
That's good.
Higher dimensions down into this place here to be with you today.
I am so grateful. I will try to refer to you in your complete title, but I'll probably forget a couple of times. And I also have Cleo the Seer here, who is also my sister. And
yay!
Yeah. And to round out our group, we have Sherry from Voices from the Swamp. So I'm going to go back to Tarot Stash, and we'll go round robin and let everybody tell you a little something about themselves and what's going on with their channel. Go ahead.
I'm Gerald, Tarot Stash. I collect tarot cards. I do readings. I teach. I do Tarot the Stash Way. I like to have a lot of conversations with people on my channel regularly on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern and Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. And in fact, on Monday with Purple Elephant Deb H, I am having Tarot the Stash Way, The Ethics of Readings Part 2.
Ooh.
And and tomorrow I'm actually a guest on Good Journeys Tarot for 78 cards in 78 weeks. Wow. And then Tuesday, I'm very excited about this. I am doing a laugh and learn about Orisha from the Yoruba culture. And that's just a sample of stuff that I do. Everybody should, as they say, all of the cool kids have already liked and subscribed, so they know what's going on, because I posted about this in my community tab. So there you go.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Queen Goddess Isis, please. Well, we kind of know what you're doing, but
April,
let us know what's happening.
Okay. Val from Dragonfly Crystals, aka Queen Goddess Isis. I have a wonderful show coming up on Tuesday at 10 in the morning. I hope it's Pacific time, not too early for some, with actually Sybil Harmony. And we're going to talk about what the energies are coming in right now and what we can expect. And then I have a show coming up with Allie. I believe it's the 14th at noon. So look for that. I'll have it on my community page.
Great. Thank you. I'm also doing a show with Sybil Harmony coming up. So that'll be really interesting. I think you said what day?
Mine is Tuesday at 10 in the morning.
Oh yeah, mine's not until a little while.
That's April 4th.
April 8th is
yeah.
All right. And Cleo, what's happening for you? Well, introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, what you do.
I'm Cleo. I'm the seer. I'm a psychic. I'm a medium. And I don't normally do tarot cards, but today I am. Today I am going to do some tarot cards.
Wow.
Wow. To tell you right up front, I don't know how to do tarot cards, so this should probably work out really well. And I think, Colleen and I have something going on with Sherry?
Possibly on the 14th. I'm waiting for confirmation.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
We haven't given confirmation?
Oh, I thought we did. I will email you.
Okay. So yeah, the 14th at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Pacific.
Do you have it in British summertime too, Sherry?
I'm sorry. British time is 6 hours ahead of me, so that would be Midnight.
You rattled those off. I was like, going, she has got it.
Well, I can count backwards by an hour. That's the easy part. But when I have to convert to England, it's like, then I start counting on my fingers.
Sherry's got everything under control because, you know,
Yeah.
link stuff with somebody, she's like, oh, I already got that. It's like,
That's great. Yeah, Cleo and I are going to be on with Sherry on the 14th, and then also in May, on May 6th, the day after one of our eclipses, I'm going to be having Sherry on my channel to read her natal horoscope.
I know, I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
that. Oh,
I've had a few done over the years, but no one ever explained it to me. So it was just squiggly lines and pictures. I don't know what it means.
Oh, you want something other than the squiggly lines?
No, I just want it explained. I just want to know what they mean.
Yeah, you'll know by the time we
Cool.
get there.
Well,
Okay.
just
Yeah,
like Cleo, I've not done political readings, so this will be my first.
Okay.
Really?
oh.
You can all put that on, in your diary.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I need to come to your classes to kind of brush up on this. I realized I've had these tarot cards for probably 30 years, and they're in pristine condition because they've never been used. So
Wow.
until today, I mean, I can feel it. I know what's going on here.
Yeah,
I've watched you guys.
I think it's one of those things that actually that's a great thing to think about is how do you get to know a tarot deck? There's 5 of us here. That's at least 15 different ways to get to know a tarot deck. And guess what? All of them are correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
And some of us are still learning.
Exactly, Sherry. And you've got that great approach to where you're enthusiastic and, I'll stop talking. Sorry.
No, it's great.
This
You're
is
doing good.
welcome to the Cool Crone. This is their show.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. I
Oh,
don't
well,
usually.
to finish up, I'm doing a recorded show tomorrow with Helen, Irish Granny Tarot.
Oh, nice. I love her.
So, yeah, I do too. I love watching her. And she agreed to do a collab with me. And next weekend is my friend Isaac. He's a licensed counselor. He's an intuitive. And he's coming on next Saturday. And then next Sunday is Juno and me again. For
Nice.
the next session in Jin Shinjitsu. So
Nice.
as she's teaching us what to do and how to do it.
I want to see Isaac on your channel, so I need to watch that.
That's Saturday at 5 p.m. Central.
Nice.
Next Saturday.
Very good. Well, so far, the only question that I have, I think, is a really good one to start us off with. It's Tammy Aldrich. And she says, may I get a birthday card? So let's give her a little birthday reading.
Absolutely.
So,
do we sing to Tammy?
Not if you want us to stay on air.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Because they'll shut us down if I try.
she went there. She went there. Okay. I'm just gonna
Hey,
do
those are facts.
I'm just gonna do a little oracle card for Tammy. So if somebody's ready, just go ahead and go.
I don't think any of us have pulled or shuffled yet. Give me a minute.
Tammy, I'm going to start because I'm using the Radical Abundance cards, and I'm looking at the abundance that's coming to you for your birthday and for your birth year. And the first card that I have is fun and security. So have fun because you are actually pretty secure. It feels very much like your spirit guides are watching, and they're going to make sure that your fun is safe, but it's also going to ground you in a way that is needed during this upcoming year for you.
Great. Say someone is tapping or shuffling or something very near their microphone, and it's making a
Sorry, I meant to mute. I
okay.
dropped one.
Okay, great. All right. So Tammy, I have something for you. I'm picking from the Messages from the Fairies deck. I got that out for Donald Trump, and thought that'd be nice for him. And the card that I got for you is travel. It says an upcoming trip proves to be life-changing in positive ways. So there you go. Oh, my ring light is just making the most gorgeous glare on there, isn't it?
Oh,
Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so happy birthday. Anybody
very.
else?
Yeah, I've got Treasure Island. So
Mm,
I think you're going to have a lot of good things coming your way. Happy birthday. And you're getting a leg up energetically. You're getting a lot of help energetically, and I believe you're going to have people assisting you with different things here on the earth plane. So look for some beautiful things, either gifts being revealed that you have, spiritually, or actually manifested into the world. So happy birthday, Tammy.
nice.
Hey, I got one for Tammy. I pulled the Chalice fulfillment. So
Yeah.
you're looking at a very fulfilling year coming up. Your cup will runneth over with a lot of good things.
Nice. Cleo, you got something?
I'm not advanced enough on the tarot quite yet. I've studied the tarot for about 60 minutes. And hopefully I can get it all figured out.
You know what I do? Cleo, buy the picture. Just what the picture.
I like that. I like the little pictures. There's
with the picture.
Show us a picture. Listen to me. Show us a picture. I'm being supportive, Cleo.
Right. Here we go. There's
that's strength.
That's a good card.
What do you see in that card, Cleo?
I see a lion.
Yes.
Excuse me. And a woman with infinity on her head.
Yes.
And I have no idea what that means. So if somebody can read
a mouthful right there. Yeah.
Well,
what does a lion mean to you? What does a lion represent?
Leo.
And what is a lion? Physically, they're strong, and
this lion is saying, "I'm not going to bite you." I mean, you can see.
There you go. Who's in control of the lion who won't bite her? Got it under
a very strong woman.
There you go, right there. Bingo.
I knew it. I knew
it.
By the way, Cleo, congratulations on reading your first tarot card.
Yay!
We're gonna all mark it in our calendar.
As long as Val drug it out of me, then hey, I read it.
Oh, don't say that, Sherry. I will put it in my calendar, and I will email Cleo in a year and going, congratulations.
Now read your second card.
That's right.
No, I think she'll probably read her second card tonight.
Well, yeah, I would like, you know what? Can I talk to you guys about Donald Trump, the man that was just indicted by the New York District?
Before or after we were doing our happy dance.
Yeah.
That's right. This is a day of celebration. And I hope, you think it's just today. There's going to be more and more things coming up. There's going to be more, I don't know if it's necessarily indictments, but there's going to be more and more trouble for Donald Trump. So I was looking at the cards thinking what was going on. And this goes back to Thursday evening. And here we are at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh.
And this is his attorneys jumping out of the castle.
Yep.
Because they would like to get away from him.
Yep.
And the flames the flames, that's his wife. She's a little bit irritated with the whole thing. And so this was happening in Mar-a-Lago on Thursday evening after they found out about the indictment. They just all went crazy, and he is so pissed off.
That would make absolute sense.
Yes, he
So
is.
there, I did my second reading.
I am very impressed, and I thought it was a very accurate reading.
Yes, me too. Me too. Well, so let's all do a little bit of speculation here about Mr. T. Let's see what's going on for him.
Well, while you're doing that, I can tell you that, with all these different investigations that's going on from Georgia to Florida to Washington, D.C. and to New York, I believe, and what I've been told, is that they have kind of created a triage, which normally you find in medicine, where the doctors and specialists all get together and try to figure out how to treat somebody for whatever. Well, I think the reason my spirit guides told me triage instead of something more within the legal spectrum is because what they wanted me to know is they're getting together, but it's not in a legal sense. They are like comparing notes, and everybody's trying to decide what to do first. Well, obviously the guy from New York, Bragg, I believe his name is he did the first thing, and started with the indictments. But there's so many things going on that I think they've all kind of gotten together and said, okay, you do this, you do that, and we'll kind of do it down the line, and we'll space it out a little bit. Just like when the Attorney General from New York said, well, we're going to take a month off. We're not going to do any more with this. And then all of a sudden, wham, that's the way this is all going to go. Plus I heard, I said, well, in what sense? And they said, well, that they're coming down with it. They're coming down on him like a hammer. And I said, like a sledgehammer? And they go, no, like a jackhammer.
Oh gosh! Ow!
So it's just going to be bam, 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 bam. And everybody's speculating about, okay, what was the indictment all about? And we won't know until next week. But, there's been speculations of 30 to 35 counts in this indictment. I mean, that's no casual thing of just, oh, okay, he did some business deal. He didn't record it. They'll say it was an accurate recording of on the checkbook, basically.
Yeah.
Because they're saying that it might have, I don't know, it might have screwed up campaign finance rules. Maybe could possibly have anything to do with taxes. I don't know. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of things just from this first indictment. But then you will see over time, bam, bam, bam.
Oh wow!
A whole bunch of stuff happening. And
the jackhammer image won't leave my mind now.
I'm just
Ow.
I'm just super happy about it. As are a lot of people. A lot of people are feeling like this, like, oh, look what's happening. We're so happy.
Not that we're thinking in a bad way about somebody else, but it really lends itself for you to realize energy is moving forward. Energy is, things are shifting. Things are shifting in a good way. So.
Yeah, I agree. Val, I am so with you, because as light workers, we always want to bring the light, the positive. But the light only exists because there is darkness.
It's true. I mean, this is a sign of our times when someone of his wealth can become actually indicted. So this is something that our society really needs to see. It's a letting go of the old, 1% structure and the way things have worked in the world. It's kind of falling away now. And this is a crumbling of that with the Trump world.
But his Republican buddies are so they're just so pissed off about the whole thing and acting like it's nothing, or how dare they do such a thing, and everybody's
Oh,
totally.
the United States. I mean, that's nothing. What are they talking about?
Yeah.
What?
And before we go too far away from Donald Trump, I just want to tell you guys quickly, before he was elected, there were a lot of Vedic astrologers. Those are the astrologers that practice Indian astrology. And in the United States, not all, but a lot of astrologers practice tropical astrology, which is what I practice, which makes the signs different. But
Yeah.
the Vedic astrologers were so hot and heavy that Donald Trump was going to be the best thing since sliced bread for the United States, because his chart connects to the planets of the United States chart. Almost every single planet in the United States chart has a real direct correlation and aspect, an angle, and that's how we measure it in astrology, to the planets in Donald Trump's chart. And this one astrologer that I used to really like, and I stopped listening to her when she started saying this, was just going through how he was going to change the United States and take us through a revolution, and it was going to be so.
I know who that is, and I did the same thing you did.
Yeah, and the thing is that he did all those things, but he did it by doing some terrible things to bring it all to light, to dredge it all up, and he has fulfilled his karmic role. This was what he came here to do. This was his contract in this lifetime, was to play the role of this heinous person in our destiny, in our, playing with our fate. And he did it. I don't know what they're going to say to him when he goes through his life review, but God, I don't want to be there.
That's a good job.
No. But he did.
They say though, Colleen, your life review is you acknowledging what you did or didn't do. It's nobody judging you but you. So he's probably going to have to feel every single thing that he did to everyone else, how many people he betrayed and whatever else. He did. So it's him feeling his own.
Yeah. And that's going to be horrible, but the larger picture, so there's multi levels going on here. The larger picture is that he did fulfill that destiny. He has taught the United States that we cannot allow things to go the way they've gone. And, for that, I'm not going to say thank you, but it wasn't.
When Trump was elected, for a week after it was called, I was physically ill, could not get out of bed. I was so upset. And then after about 4 or 5 days, it hit me. He's going to be the best thing to ever happen to this country, simply because he's going to wake everybody up and he's going to show where all the corruption is so that we can deal with it and move forward.
And that wasn't.
When I stated that out loud, I had so many friends who just blasted me for that. How can you say that? I'm telling you.
And then what I love, Sherry, is you're saying exactly what the GOP said, but only we mean
in reverse. Yeah. And when I was shuffling, this card jumped out of my deck. So, Cleo, you're not the only one that got the tower.
Yeah.
Followed by the high priestess. So, how better than the ones taking him down are going to be the women.
Yeah.
The ones that he tends to despise the most.
Well, I don't know if you heard, but Stormy Daniels, is that her name? Stormy?
Well, that's her stage name.
Her stage name, correct? Yeah.
Stephanie, I want to say Richard.
I don't care what her real name is. But she came out and said, well, actually, Donald Trump, he affectionately calls her horseface. And he's disgusting. And so he said he wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. And Stormy Daniels said, yeah, it was a 3-inch pole.
I saw that. I like to choke and laugh so hard. You're right, Gerald. That was a flop.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this to that. I mean, that was good. That was
I had to give
good.
it to him because
Sherry, nobody's gonna choke on a 3-inch.
Most people would be like, "What's that in my mouth? Is that a pebble? Somebody drop a grain of rice in there?"
So I did some readings, and what I can see from all of this, Colleen and everybody, is this is going to be a slow burn.
Mhm.
It's not going to be the obvious thing. It's going to be all of the small things, and slowly the tapestry will be pulled away and it will fall apart. This is the thing that gives a lot of people hope. This is the Ace of Cups. It's going to enliven that. The thing that we have to remember is this stuff is going to take longer than what we want it to.
Yeah.
And this is where, because I have the 7 of Pentacles, slow and steady. Things are being planted. Keep moving, keep slowly weeding, and it will show up. But this is a slow burn. It's not that quick thing that we all are hoping for, but it's going to chip away.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. That's exactly what's going to be happening. But when each little thing comes down, it's going to be like, okay, we had the indictment, bam. Now we have something else, bam. It's going to be like, well, where did it come from? And then suddenly, wham, and it's like we've been waiting for it. And then when it finally comes, it's not like it's going to ease up into things, just like you're saying. It's just, it's wham, and it's hard. It's and even Trump and his lawyers are looking around like, well, this is a surprise. I'm thinking, what are you talking about? You're the one that came out and said that last Tuesday, he was going to be indicted. And then when he is indicted, he's like, oh, well, wait, we thought they were taken off for a month. I'm thinking it's psych. That attorney general.
Talk about April Fools.
Oh, yeah, exactly. April Fools. It was all, it does appear like a kind of a setup, a little psych out, before
And the bottom of the deck energy is all the friends will be turning on him.
Oh,
Finally.
And
who wants to go to prison?
Well, and then he'll be popular and marry different ways from that sense. But if anybody would touch him, but I think it's an important thing to remember is again, when one person stands up and says something and survives, then another person's going to, and then another person, and then another person. It's that idea of one candle lights how many candles?
Right.
So, and that's again back to that slow and steady.
And if you look at Congress, the GOP in Congress are running scared. They don't know which direction to go in, especially the ones that were involved.
Well, and since Trump also threatened the attorney general, well, he threatened everybody that, this was going to be death and destruction if he got indicted, that he was going, that there's been death threats against the attorney general and the members of the grand jury. I mean, they can't blame it directly on him, but it's just the same feeling of when he did the insurrection, the same kind of, let's get out there and fight. And, they're doing this wrong. And, he's going to end up having to, in one way or another, pay for saying those kind of things. Because he's trying to get everybody excited and get a riot going, and people get killed. I mean,
and how telling was it that when he said that and called for his people to come and mass protests or whatnot?
Yeah,
50 people showed up. I mean,
because he shouldn't have done them wrong on Jan 6 when he didn't give them lawyers and try and help them monetarily.
Well, didn't you see the song that he made?
No.
Oh no! Oh, you know, when he went into Waco, Texas, he brought out the song, and I guess it's like a hit on iTunes or somewhere, and it's all these guys that are in jail
Oh,
are singing in the background to, oh God, I don't know if it's America the Beautiful or it's some kind of song like that. That's probably not it, but it's some kind of song like that, and they and President or former President Trump is saying the Pledge of Allegiance throughout it in little bits and pieces. And it, so, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. What about all these guys that ended up in jail or in prison because they followed what Trump told them to do? And so he's talking like, oh, I'm backing you guys up now. They actually recorded this thing by all these prisoners were singing into a phone. And so they recorded that, and then they recorded Trump on top of that, saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh God, I wish I had that. I don't have it.
I do too, Cleo. I'm gonna go search and see if I can find that after. Oh my gosh.
Most definitely. I'm going to go look for that one.
By the way, I just see that Colleen said in the chat that her power went out. And we should keep going. So welcome to the channel takeover. My name is, I'm not the Cool Crone, but I encourage you to like and subscribe. So anyhow, I'm being a smart aleck.
I think
that's what we love you for, Gerald.
Oh, well, thank you.
Is your smart assery.
My smart assery.
Smart assery is very important.
Yes. Right.
Well, I love your hat. It's so, you know, I know it's so April 1st, but wow. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
April showers bring May flowers.
This is Tarot Sachet, my twin sister drag persona. So, if Tarot Sachet were out, we would be having a different experience. Sherry knows this. She had Tarot Sachet on her channel.
Yeah, I sure did, along with Ms. Tarot D, and I still get asked, when are they coming back?
Oh, God, yes.
That was one of the one of my top shows. When I look back at my analytics, and I still get asked to this day, when are you having when are you having the queens back in the swamp?
There you go.
I said, soon, darling, soon.
Yeah.
They got to be all well.
You're welcome. And I think it's one of those things that you know, with everything that's going on, and people who are light workers, we need to, as Colleen said, we need to recognize the dark and recognize the light. There is a balance, and you know, let me get on my soapbox. And no, I do not have a box of soap yet. But it's important for us to, you know, it's keep it in balance. Keep it in balance, and that's hard, by the way.
Yes.
It's really, really challenging.
It definitely is. It definitely is. Somebody actually has a question. I don't know if we've covered so much. I don't know if we have actually read on this. Did Bragg tell his people that they were going to indict Trump last week to see if there were any leaks in his office? That was a good one because I've heard that. Did he ferret it out to see if there were any leaks in his office?
I've heard several rumors of that. Yeah,
several rumors. So I never know how to pronounce sorry.
I'm still here.
Can't pronounce the name. So I mean,
okay.
Let's read on that. Did Bragg actually tell his people they were going to indict to see a fake day to see if who the leaks are in the office? Did Bragg actually do that to ferret out the leaks?
In which office?
This is Bragg. Bragg in New York.
In his office. Okay. Well, there's Colleen again.
Yeah. So, Colleen, we were going to read on the question, did Bragg tell his people that they were going to indict Trump?
Oh, I don't think I can hear anybody.
Oh, you can't hear us?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can, but see?
Oh, you can hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear any of you. Okay. I'll go out and I'll come back in. I'm just really happy to know that you guys are still going.
So everybody, just move your lips and just act like we're saying stuff.
Spoken like a true sister. Look who's doing it. We gotta wait till she comes back for it to work.
I just wanted to read on this. Okay, 10 of Swords. This is on the question: did Bragg in New York tell his people that they were going to indict Trump to catch somebody? I think yes. 9 of Cups. So this guy looks like he's, he's sitting there. He put it all out there, and he's raised it. Yep, and he's yep. 6 of Swords. He's trying to send them on their way. He was trying to ferret it out, and I believe he did do that. Yeah.
Well, I got a Page of Wands, which is a yes card.
Yes.
Inspiration, ideas, discovery.
It was discovery.
Limitless potential. Oh yeah, he was looking for the mole.
He was looking for the mole. That's why Trump thought it was going to be, or wasn't going to be, on whatever day, or it was going to be.
You think the mole was one of the jurors?
No, he has people in his office that were Trumpers from the beginning, and he came in later after, and he's got all.
I think that's why it took the DOJ and all of the other New York and all the others so long to get things going, was because first they had to get in there and clean house.
Yeah.
And get positions replaced and get.
And they've still got some moles in there that they've got.
Some of them they're letting stay because that's how they're leaking the wrong information.
But that grand jury is listening to more than just the Trump thing, which I'm sure just upset Trump. Like I'm not the main attraction. He's not. They've got other things to deal with, other grand jury situations to deal with besides him. And I really think.
Yay! Back.
Can you hear us?
I hear you, and you hear us.
Yes, and I can't even tell you the stupid reason why I couldn't hear you guys before. It's just really dumb. It's an April.
Go ahead, tell us. We'll wait.
Was it the volume?
No, I have to have an external speaker on my PC, and I forgot to turn. It didn't come back on. Usually, it just comes back on when your computer shuts down and comes back up. But it didn't, and I should know because when it's on, it has these. It's a gaming PC, and when it comes on, it's got these little flashing lights in different colors. I should have known. Duh, the lights aren't there. So, but I was panicking. So little sweat.
What's the actual question again? Because
did Alvin Bragg, tell his people that they were going to indict Trump last week to see if there were any leaks in his office, any Trumpers? They're still.
Oh,
yeah. So Terry and I got yes, and
I got I got contradictory information, but it's supported with. It's like he's not necessarily in as control as he thinks he is. Because there are already people who, I have the 4 of Swords with the 10 of Swords, so that does suggest that bad stuff is coming down or has come down, and I got a lot of. I have 2 aces, which tell me that things have shifted. And one is water and one is pentacles, and it's like water under the. It's like water. It's like how the Grand Canyon was made. Water under the rocks, slow and steady, will just whittle stuff away. But stuff is going to switch pretty quickly, because I have the 8 of. I have while people are dreaming, the 7 of Cups, the Ace or the 8 of Wands is showing up. So it's going to come pretty quickly, because he's lost the balance of what's going on.
Wow. Well, I loved it that Trump decided it was going to happen on that Tuesday, and then it didn't happen because it just made him look like such a complete dope.
It did.
You know, I mean, if somebody leaked that to him just
Yeah.
so he would do that, I'm like, hey, go for it.
I loved it.
And,
Yeah.
and Gerald, you're saying that Bragg is not in control of what's going on, or Trump?
Bragg. Yeah,
Okay.
he
All right.
thinks he is, but he's not really. It's almost like, again, for entertainment purposes only, it really feels to me like he's the figurehead, and the puppet masters are actually just letting him do what he wants so other stuff can change.
Yeah, I mean, he's managing the DOJ. 500 attorneys work for him. Not to mention all the other staff people. So, I mean, nobody has control of that. But I think you're right. I think I do think a little bit of letting loose into the public to check for leaks. And, you know, who knows who got him to even do that. But what I've got for his thing, though, is that because this is coming out to the public so much, I got the Ace of Wands here. And because it's coming out to the public so strongly, one thing that it's doing is clawing back a lot of respect for the DOJ, a great deal of respect, and that confers upon Bragg. That's going to allow Bragg to feel, you know, really good, which is nice when you're getting death threats, because like, why else would you do it if it wasn't really important, you know? And the other card that I get for them is the Strength card. So a lot of people in the DOJ, you're right. Maybe he isn't in control, and maybe there are still a lot of people who are sympathetic to DJT, you know, and that may also be an issue. But bottom line is he is going to rise to the top, become more of a leader, more of a figurehead, garner more respect, especially in the public eye, but also within his department. His last card is the Lovers. So, you know, people are going to respect him and cooperate with him, and because he's the one going out in the public and telling the tale. So very interesting.
No, I got the feeling that he was already getting that respect, but I didn't, you know, what Gerald was talking about, I didn't realize there was 500 people that
just 500 attorneys. 500 attorneys. Think about how many paralegals and mailroom people and secretaries and receptionists and you know, investigators. I mean, my God, that's got to be 2,000-3,000 people in that office that he has to manage, and only 500 of them are attorneys.
If somebody did that, I hope they do it again. I hope they keep screwing things up, because it just made Trump look so stupid. And it just works out very well. But this thing about the death threats, that's going to come back. Or the thing, and also, you know, blood in the streets or whatever, you know, all the protests and stuff, that's going to come back to bite Trump. Maybe not in the legal sense, but it will all these little things are going to pile up. And that's another thing to add to it.
And I think that in Bragg's office, every time Trump does one of these things, you know, they're keeping an eye. The FBI is keeping an eye on threat level, right? There is no threat level in New York City for thousands of people protesting and becoming violent for Trump, because New York hates him. I lived in New York through the 80s. Nobody likes Donald Trump from New York. But there are people who are oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
I heard that there was 50 people that showed up in New York to protest this thing about the indictment before the indictment came down.
One guy.
The guy that was all dressed up with the horns, acting like that other guy. What in that world?
That was it. There's nothing.
But they said there was a group of young Republicans. There was like 50 of them. Then before that, they said there was more journalists than there was protesters, and they counted about 5 protesters on that particular protest thing. So yeah, no, the protest didn't work out. The indictment didn't go as planned as far as Trump thought it was going to go. And those kind of things are just going to keep coming up because it's one thing after another just to kind of throw things off. Plus it makes Trump just look dumber and dumber and dumber.
Oh,
And then, right now, all the GOP guys, the Lindsey Grahams and the,
please, Lindsey.
oh God, the
God.
things they're coming up with, and they're just so incensed. How dare you do this to him?
Yeah. Oh no, I remember what my train of thought was. Every single thing that he is saying in the public, every time he has a threat, a Truth Social tweet thing, all of those things, they're just making a list. They're just adding it.
Yeah, that's all admissible in court.
Yeah, they are going to add all of those.
Exactly. Yes,
I think that's why the judge hadn't slapped a gag order on him yet, just to see how far he'll sink him.
And I
How
think
far
that's
he'll
also
sink
a trap.
himself.
Yep,
He's scared to death that is going to happen. He is scared to death that's going to happen.
But people like that, people who have gone so far off the ledge like that, they can't stop themselves. Their energy is literally hurling them through the universe towards their demise.
Right.
He can't
It
stop
gathered moss along the way, and it can't turn it can't roll a different direction. It's already got momentum.
He's like the QE2 at this point. He cannot turn that boat. That boat is just going where it's going.
But if he gets censored and he's trying to run for president, that really screws up his plans. He's got to be able to talk about it. And people were speculating about house arrests and stuff. We're just going to have to wait and see. Just going to have to wait and see.
Do you really think that any other cities are going to let him come and pretend to rent space to do his rallies after Waco?
He hasn't paid the last 100 and something cities that he's done rallies in since he ran the first time.
At least Waco made him pay the $60,000 up front. I think that was for the parking lot that he held the thing in. But apparently he still owes them something like almost $500,000 for all the other stuff that he's
There's
done.
a couple of cities he owes over $1 million to, from what I read.
Yeah, that's just Waco.
In some other city in Texas, and they're just irate. Like, okay, you came to Waco.
I think it's San Antonio.
San Antonio, either that or El Paso. One of the two. Yeah, one of those two. He really screwed them over. So what else we got, people?
So I'm just saying, when you read all these reports on the internet, especially, that make it look like, well, they're saying right now that Trump's popularity just went through the roof, and he's way ahead of, what's that guy in Florida, DeSantis or whatever?
Yeah.
And he's way ahead of him in the polls. Who cares? I mean, I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to be on the ballot.
No,
He's not.
No, he's not.
No, but DeSantis worries me because he's not as dumb as Trump.
Right.
He's a lot smarter. And that's what this whole thing has had me worried from the beginning, is that this is opening doors for those that would do what Trump did, but who are smarter than him and who can get away with doing it by hiding it in a way that's not so obvious. Trump tends to hide everything in plain view. Like if he talks about it and admits it and just, right out loud, then no one's going to hold him accountable for it. And up to now, that's been true for his entire life. I mean,
but DeSantis comes up with such strange, don't say gay, and then he gets in the fight with Disneyland. Oh my God! So I have a feeling this is just a brand new thing just came to me through my spirit guides, that a lot of these things in these tarot cards look suspiciously, well, drag queen. So more than likely, DeSantis is going to outlaw tarot cards in Florida. I see it in the future.
Probably. And I have to say, though, DeSantis he's not standing on truthful grounds. So at some point, what he did with with money coming into them for instead of the Red Cross, he and his wife gathered
For
all
the COVID situation, for the pandemic.
No,
Pandemic money, right?
This was just recently for something else. I think hurricane relief or something else. Just recently, now that he's governor, he and his wife said, "Send it to us, send it to us." And I noticed it hasn't been in the news anymore. Somebody's asked him though, "What happened to the funds? What did you do with it?" They still have the money.
Well, he did the same thing with the pandemic relief money.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's
read on that. Kind of disappeared.
Let's read on that. Let's find out. Will DeSantis's shenanigans with the money for whatever relief, will that be what gets him in trouble and forces him to pull back?
Okay.
Or will he get in trouble? Just will he get in trouble for that?
Mm-hmm.
Could you repeat the question again while I shuffle?
Yes. Will DeSantis get caught and in trouble for hoarding the money that he's collecting for emergency relief funds?
Thank you.
Well, I'm getting a yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm getting a world, the completion, and the eight of cups, and he's looking at all these spilt cups knocked over, and he's
he's got to go.
Gotta go.
I got the same thing. I got the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's gonna complete his mission with whatever he's here to do.
Yeah, his cycle is done.
Cycle is done.
But who does he have to answer to in real life? I mean, he's the guy.
The Two of Pentacles reversed,
Which
is rare because I don't do reverse cards.
So what does that mean to you, Sherry?
Yeah.
I mean, basically, it's telling me that they're trying to look like they're balancing everything out, but they're not.
They're not. Yep.
They're not. They're cooking the books. They're keeping the money, and it's going to come out because eventually those books are going to get looked at, and it's going to be, well, how did you get this much money?
Correct.
Into your campaign or into your household, and where did the money go that was supposed to be over here?
Right.
And I think Cleo had a good question. Who's going to oversee that? Is that going to come up from the federal level? Is that someone from an oversight to FEMA or an oversight to because a governor is the head. He's the president of the state, right? So nobody from the state would do that. It'd have to be somebody on a federal level.
Definitely.
So again, that's coming back to who.
There'd have to be a federal oversight committee that would look at something like that.
Yeah, and
irregularities.
And in Congress right now, no, that's not going to happen. But gee, if only 4, 5, 6, or I say 8 Republican Congress people get indicted and removed from Congress, and they get replaced with just enough Democrats, then maybe that could come from Congress. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Well, here's what I get in the cards. This is his wife. His wife is holding everything. And I remember even hearing a little one of the news blips when he was asking for money. He was saying, if you send it to my wife, it'll get dispatched faster. Yeah, it'll get deposited in their bank account faster. But we also have, again, the Ace of Wands and Strength. I got these 2 cards again. And I think these cards are telling us that the systems in place to call them on the carpet are being tested, and they will they will overcome. They will be the predominant word. You know, they'll be the word saying, no, you can't do that. So I don't know exactly how he's getting called on the carpet, but I think he's getting called on the carpet. And I wanted to also just say one thing about planet Pluto. So all this stuff with Gerald was saying that with Trump's going to go slow. I agree totally 100%. So Pluto just went into Aquarius. It's going to retrograde in June. It's going to come back into the signs. I don't know, sometime before the end of the year. I think it's October. I can't quite remember when. So bottom line is it's going to do this dance back and forth, being retrograde direct between the very, very end of Capricorn and into Aquarius until the end of 2024. And I think that's when we're going to see the resolution with Trump, is the end of 2024, or at least, you know, some of the big cases will be ended by then, so that it will be put to bed by the time we get to the date of the election in 2024. It will be a foregone conclusion that he cannot run.
Right.
And he may not be in any physical shape to run by that
Yeah, I
time.
don't think he will be.
He'll be very sick, I think. Okay.
Or mentally for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't put my banner on, or maybe it went out when the storm came.
But you guys are seeing that Trump is going to have some health issues next year?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's just a hot mess waiting to, you know, fall apart. So
hey, what's wrong with living on Kentucky Fried Chicken and McDonald's cheeseburgers and stuff?
All the Adderall, all those, you know, pharmaceuticals have to take a toll on your body. And, you know,
I think he's already petrified his internal organs.
petrified them.
Well, if a friend of mine yesterday said something to the effect of, this will break him.
Yeah.
All of this other stuff, his spirit will be broken and everything else will just fall.
Yeah, Gerald, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his own children turning against him.
Yeah.
And by the way, what?
They've been so quiet, except when the indictment came out, then both Eric and Donald, I'm thinking, who is listening to those guys? A couple of clowns. I mean, hey, Dad, we're really proud of you. And he taught his kids exactly how to do things illegally. And so they're all just like doing it.
That's why none of them are allowed to have a charity anymore. Or to be on the board of a charity anymore.
This is how you grift, boys. Catch on.
Well, that's what con people do. They do raise their kids to, you know.
They do.
Have any of you ever seen the show My Cartoon President? Oh my God, it's worth it. I think it's either on Showtime. I think it's on Showtime, and it's worth getting that trial subscription for 30 days just to watch it. They have the Don Jr. and Eric. They have them down pat. I mean, it's pretty funny. It's very funny.
Well, Ivanka's a little different story. She's just continually distancing herself from all of it. You know, you notice you haven't heard anything from Ivanka in months.
No, it's been a long time.
No, she's on Bumble. She's just got her fingers are too busy swiping. So.
Oh gosh.
I'm looking. So did everybody go on that last question?
I think the idea of is if he's going to get away with it or whatever he's going to get called. I actually think he's not going to get in as much trouble as we want, because he's going to work out some plea bargains and he's going to undermine all of this stuff so that he gets away with stuff because he's willing to give other information.
Yes.
What could he give that anybody wants to hear?
Well, you know, wait a minute. That statement, that deserves a
No.
what could he give that anybody would want to hear? You're right. I have no idea.
I mean,
But yeah.
Well, the January 6th things, he's has yet to answer for any of that. And
Yeah.
so I don't think that's something you can really buy your way out of. They have him on tape. They have pictures of him telling people to fight for him and to protest and to fight like hell because they're being wronged. And
And they have millions of us that watched it live on TV.
exactly.
You know, it wasn't a taped show, it was live broadcast. We watched it happen. I remember sitting in my living room going, oh my effing God, what is going on?
Rose Blue just wanted to know what's actually happened to Matt Gaetz. Can we ever look forward to him ever being?
Oh,
Mm,
And Colleen, I'm just
Yeah.
curious with Florida. It feels to me like there's some astrology that will support what happens there.
yeah. I haven't done this. I haven't looked at Satan's chart. I don't think anybody has a birth time for him. I could be wrong, but yeah, that would be a good thing to look at.
You want me to call the devil and find out if I can find his
Yeah.
birth time?
Yeah, if you could just text him and then
I'll
let
text
me know.
Yeah, see what he has to say, Gerald. And just to wrap all of that little bit up is we also have to keep in mind that we're talking about putting in prison, in the prison population, the former president of the United States. Now, personally, in my mind, he was never president. It was fake. And like Linda G has said, it's going to come out that he was the fake president and never won anything, and everything he did is going to be canceled. Now, this is what her guides have told her, and I agree with most of that. But still, he is still seen as the former president of the United States. God forgive us. That the rest of the world is looking at, and we're talking about putting him in general population lockup. May the jokes prevail. It is April Fool's, because he best not bend over for soap or he's going to be in trouble, you know?
It's going to be one of those mini
He
bars.
will not end up in a prison. He will
No,
not.
no, I don't think he will either. I think they will either keep him in his home or in some kind of a mental institution where, you know, he can, as far as I'm concerned, when once it all happens and they are ready to incarcerate him, they should just put him in a fancy room that's nothing but gold filleted bull crap and give him a toddler's fake iPhone and tell him go for it.
mm.
No, what they should do is they should put him in a room and have drag queens read to him.
That too. Although I would not want to do that to drag queens.
Yeah, that
They're
would
a
be
tough lot, but yeah, no.
cruel.
I'd
and
rather have them
unusual
reading to my children and my grandchildren.
I know that's cruel and unusual punishment for the drag queens.
Yes, yes.
They'd have to
What
do something pretty heinous to be given that sentence.
what I've always seen is that they find some sort of like almost like a medical facility, and they may have to build something for him where they can keep him totally isolated, totally, alone, and like the windows will be papered over with posters of scenes for outside the Alps, whatever. And they'll let him wear little slippers that have the presidential seal on it, and they'll have flags all over the place. And because I'm telling you, this guy is almost at the point where his psychosis, he's going to just break, and he's just going to be almost a blithering idiot. And at that point, he's still not harmless though, because of what people will do if he opens his mouth. But I do think that he's gonna. I mean, I think they're going to have to literally lock him up, feed him pudding every day, and change his diapers, and let him pretend he's the president, and then he'll shuffle off to his next assignment. He'll transition to his next assignment.
Yeah, because I've been reading interviews by people who've said close to him, he's not tethered to reality at all.
Nope.
So
No.
And let's,
Well, even Barr said that he's disconnected from reality.
Connected.
everybody pause for a moment and like and subscribe.
Yes.
We're watching the Cool Crone.
Yeah.
Do
We
it.
have our lady of and goddess Isis with us, and we have Cleo and Sherry and Tarot's Dash, and we just have to take a moment, breathe, like, and subscribe.
I like that. I'm going to totally add that. Breathe,
Breathe.
like, and subscribe. And I'm going to blame Colleen for that, people.
Breathe in, click like. Breathe out, click subscribe.
It's a spiritual practice, you guys. Back off. Come on. It's a spiritual thing.
Oh, and spiritual things only are serious.
Are they? Oh, okay.
That's what I've heard. I heard that on Fox News.
Oh, you guys.
Sorry, I'm stirring the turd.
And did anybody else? I shuffled for Matt Gates. So,
Oh, you did. Okay.
so should I continue
Oh,
to do that?
we're drawing for Matt Gates. What was the question?
And was Rose Blue who said, is there going to be any kind of, or is Matt Gates ever going to be charged for anything? Then she came back with another really good question. Will DeSantis turn on Matt Gates if he really gets in a pinch? And I'm thinking, is Matt Gates a big enough fish that they would take that? No, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, right now DeSantis is so focused on he got Disney World took their own contract and said you can't do what you're trying to do. And, I don't really know exactly what I'm talking about. I've just
But they won. Disney won because they were right.
Yeah. I mean, and so anyway, he's looking around like, uh-oh, what do you mean you can't do this? And and it's all over the gay thing, which is just so incredibly stupid to
Unconscionable. We can't.
Well, and I keep thinking of all these young children who are in the process of transitioning with the help of their parents and doctors and counseling across this country where states are making it illegal to offer them any help.
Right.
Or to allow them to complete their transition.
Or to give them information related to the subject so that they can understand what's going on with them and understand themselves better.
Yeah, it's so far. I can't even believe that kind of thing is happening.
Yeah, there's. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well.
So we're reading on Matt Gates, right? Was that who we're reading?
Yeah. I got some cards on Maddie. So here's
too.
I think Matt Gates and Ron DeSantis make admirable opponents. And I think they will be opponents, but that's not what's in the cards. So first card I get is the Six of Swords. So I'm going to say June is the time for Mr. Gates to have his comeuppance. Because my next card is the Princess of Swords. So it will either have something to do with those young women that he was involved with, or it will be a female judge or lawyer or some kind of female who's a part of the law. Or it could be the lawsuits brought by one of those girls and they have female representative. But this person, look at the look on her face.
Mm-hmm.
I would not.
You don't mess with her.
No.
It looks like Melania Trump.
Yes, a little bit in the eyes. It does. In all these meetings about DeSantis and Trump, and I'm getting the moon all over the place. There is so much subterfuge. There is so much that is being hidden in the background, but also played in the background. Tons of manipulation, tons of strategy. Just tons of strategy in the background to sabotage opponents. It's just not your normal. We're bringing this to this case, and we're going to make charges. No, there's lots of Machiavelli stuff going on with everybody, and I think it's coming out of this mindset of the MAGA Republicans. I just think they're twisted. They've drunk some weird Kool-Aid, and I don't know. They all roofied each other or something, because they just wow. Their thinking is just, even their attorneys, just so weird. Okay,
It's
that's
just
what I have to say.
Well, I pulled the 2 swords. Now, the meaning that I got off of it when I pulled it is not the meaning of the actual meaning of the card, but screw that. They don't know anything. Basically, what this is telling me is Gates is in the crosshairs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They've got his number, and
Yeah.
maybe it's not up just yet, but he's in the crosshairs. And from there, I went to the 8 of Swords,
Ooh.
Yeah.
where they have got him bound, tied up, and surrounded.
Yeah.
Again, it may not be showing right this minute, but they're lining up all their little ducks in a row. They're crossing all their T's and they're dotting all their I's. And then I got the Knight of Wands.
Oh wow.
And I think that once they make their move, it's going to go so fast
Mhm.
that people's heads will be spinning. It'll be like, where's Matt? He was here yesterday.
Mhm.
And he's now been disappeared,
Now
Not physically disappeared, but politically he'll be dust.
is that guy Santos still in Congress?
Yeah.
He still is, because I've heard a lot of readers say that he's the first to go, and then once he goes, the other ones, it'll just be like, that little game at the carnival where you shoot the
Yeah.
ducks and they just keep going in a row.
Mhm.
It's going to be like that. It's just going to
Mm.
be a whole row of them just marching out the door
Does
to.
it include Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yes, I've heard that Mr. Bragg has his eye on her specifically because she's such a loudmouth like Trump,
Mhm.
and she says things that really rile people up, and she's grown in power. I didn't want to believe
She's
it,
a
but
quasi speaker. So
yeah,
speaker.
right, she is. She is the quasi speaker. So yeah.
Yeah. I got things are going to be happening. They're trying to hang on to their money, but at the end of the day, the high priestess has come in, and this ain't looking good for Gates or DeSantis, and I think DeSantis will turn the Lover's card. Whatever they had before isn't going to stay. They're going to be things are going to happen that
Yeah.
are going to put a lot of energy toward getting it all taken care of and out into the light.
Yeah. We got 2 eclipses coming up, and eclipses have a way of changing things
Oh,
dramatically.
you just gave me the chills.
April 20th, and then May 5th. And you can bet before May 5th, or sometimes actions for eclipses come out a week or a month afterwards. So let's say up to the first week in June. Hello, the cards that I had said June for Matt Gates. So up to the first week of June or so, it is going to be, people say get your popcorn. It's going to be like popcorn. It's just going to be popping off all
Oh
over the.
my gosh, that's a good image.
Oh, and my birthday's June 3rd. What a lovely present that will be.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. And you
Oh,
just did a
wow.
video on that, Colleen, about the.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And that, having you say that, suddenly a lot of things in my cards are clicking into place, because I'm like going, wait for it, lots of stuff is happening, wait for it, lots of stuff is happening, and it's like it's a weird chess game,
Yes.
and suddenly there's going to be a second queen on the board.
Mhm.
And it's just like, holy mackerel. So
Yeah.
I love what Mary Thornberry says here on the chat section, where she says, she's referring to the Republicans. She goes, I call them the crazy Republican spirit people.
Well, and Mary says also that MTG is going to be on 60 Minutes tomorrow night. And El Robichaud has a question and wants to know if MTG will say something at Trump's court appearance on Tuesday that will get her in deeper trouble.
Oh, let's read on that. I don't know. I mean, she's not a part of anything, but I know she said she was going to be in New York on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is she
who's
gonna
going
do?
to be there?
Hey,
MTG
Starhawk.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, my
the-
favorite person. Okay, yeah, I'm a fan.
yeah.
Not.
Starhawk's birthday's the day after mine. Wow, we're birthday twins.
Aw.
Well,
Sherry, your birthday, you're June 3rd.
June 3rd,
birthday-
yes, ma'am.
Your birthday is the same as our mother.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How cool is that? Yes, I was born at 1:52 a.m. in the morning.
Nice.
My mother constantly reminded me as a child that I never let her sleep.
Aw. Okay,
Of course, I
MT.
spent 18 hours in hard labor with my son, and I never let him forget that either. When he turned 18, he was like, "Are we even now?" And I said, "Are you kidding? You will never pay that off."
Oh yes. Oh yes. She's gonna surprise us with something really fun when she shows up. I don't know what sign she is, but she seems very emotional. Um, and she's gonna think that she did such a great thing. She is just gonna feel like she's on stage, man, and she's coming in for her close up. But the joke's on her because Mr. Bragg is watching. The magician is watching, and he is going to say, "Uh-huh." And oh, excuse me, Marjorie, could you repeat that? I'm just writing that down here. So just like Trump, they're going to take notes on everything. Yeah, good goose be cooked.
Yeah, I actually got that too because I got the Six of Wands reversed. She thinking it's a victory, but girl,
no.
because suddenly a world of opportunities are going to show up, and unexpectedly something's going to pin you down.
Yep. Oh, funny.
similar. She's looking at expanding her universe. I mean, she all that, as Linda G says, in a cup of tea. But
Mm,
here's the little things that she is actually all these things that they know about her. They're
yeah.
getting her down. The Hierophant, all this is like to me the legal system. And at the end of the day, this is what
Oh boy.
is
Oh boy.
in the subject.
Yeah, she thinks she's the star,
But
That's
she's
great,
becoming the
yeah.
bigger and bigger target, is what's
and
really
that she's doing all this work. She's carrying all this burden
this burden.
because she is the star.
Hard.
She doesn't even begin to understand the strength that's coming at her of righteous justice
Oh.
that's going to tan her little hide good and proper.
Well, I can't figure out if Kevin, the speaker, if he is like on her side or if he's just kind of using her as diversion, or what the connection is there, because it almost makes it look like he's supporting the stuff she's saying. But then again,
Excuse me, Kathy. His name is Widow Kevin.
little
Yeah, widow Kevin.
widow.
Kevin. Widow Kevin.
Okay, well, so I think she thought she had support from him, and then it was like the two of them, like I think. Well, I mean, it's a hallucination. It's a fantasy of hers that she has this connection with him, and that this makes it stronger for her. So when she comes out and says goofy things, she thinks he's backing him up. I'm wondering if he's just not like treating her like a child, knowing that some way, somehow he's just going to get her out of there as quickly and quietly as possible.
It's something like that.
I think as long as he sees her as a way to better his political movement up, he's going to keep her right next to him.
It's definitely a situation where he is using her as something, platform, whatever you want to say.
Diversion.
When she isn't useful,
Well, when she isn't, when was she ever useful? What?
He thinks Donald Trump is going to become president, and Taylor Greene has his ear. And
Okay.
That's true, Isis. But
yes.
also, Kevin, I think, had to look pretty high and low to find enough non-attorneys to head these committees and to be on these committees, because you got to be a god darn idiot to do the things that they're doing. Most of the attorneys would not let those words come out of their mouth. They wouldn't even be on those committees if they didn't have to be.
Right.
Yes, he does. Kevin McCarthy, for entertainment purposes only, does not have the training and understanding of how the House works to be able to be Speaker of the House. So he will fall in disarray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you think that he will be taken down, that he will be removed as Speaker?
I think that he will be a sore spot that will create havoc for them, because as some GOP end up leaving the House, openings will be created and things will happen to where he will have unbelievable pressure on him and he will flub things up, and they will want to get rid of him. But what can you do? I mean, they can to remove a Speaker of the House. It's true. You can. So we'll see what happens.
Wow. Okay.
I just got to jump in with this. It's so funny. So I'm thinking, would Marjorie Taylor Greene try to remove him as Speaker? Forward. So I got the Nine of Swords and that. Look at that picture. That's little Kevin running away from Marjorie Taylor Greene.
So bad that she can taste it.
So what I'm saying is, as soon as she gets a whiff that Kevin is turning on her,
she'll be backstabbing.
She'll pull him down. She'll pull him out of there.
I'm going to tell you, she will absolutely do that.
I can't believe she's got this kind of influence.
I know.
Yeah.
Who knew? I'm just, what?
Well, remember, she had 2 years because they pulled her off of all the committees. So she had 2 years to do nothing but plot and plan and scheme and work on Twitter and work on Trump and build up all of this. What else was she going to do?
Exactly.
She was getting paid to do nothing, so she had to do something.
She actually didn't get paid because she kept breaking all the damn rules, so all of her salary was going to pay fines. She went a whole year with no salary because it all went to fines because she kept skipping through, going through the metal detector to go to the House chambers, or she would bring a gun in with her, or she would do this, or she would do that.
I'm
so. And Nancy Pelosi wasn't putting up with that crap. They were fining her left and right. She went a whole year with no salary.
Oh, that makes me feel so good. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, God. Thank you, angels. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. Because I never wished ill on her. Wished ill on her. But boy, does that do my heart good. That is really good.
Gerald, what is on your mind? I see you sitting there just kind of, what's going on?
I'm trying to follow the chat.
Okay.
And I'm like going, there's so many things going on. So I'm doing, my ADHD brain is in heaven because I'm doing about 16 things at once while I'm shuffling cards and
listening to us
and listening to what everybody's saying. And I'm just, there's been Somebody was
He's
talking,
in his own little slice of heaven right now.
well, somebody said something about something I said or a look I made, and I'm not exactly sure what that's about. So I'm like going, I was trying to track that down. So,
Oh, okay. So you're busy with the chat.
well, I'm trying to make sense of everything. But, overall, it's a mess. Everybody's going to come down on everybody else, and there's going to be a lot of finger pointing. And if we just go back to that idea of a slow burn, just let people start to uncover. Slowly things will uncover, but it's going to be an exhausting process.
So we'll have plenty of time to get together again and again and again and again to speculate what in the hell is going to happen here, because it's just going to happen so slowly. But I know that it's going to be things like we'll just be sitting around like, wonder what is happening, and then all of a sudden something big happens, and we're like, wow, that took me by surprise. Well, why was that?
Yeah, and I also think that there's so many there's so many plates in the air right now, and so many different things going on. All of those plate spinners aren't talking to each other, and it just really feels to me, Cleo, this idea of, it's like if you were to get everybody in the same room and get them to calm the F down and to listen one at a time to what people are saying. They're all telling the same story. They're just looking at it from different angles.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You're not talking about the investigations. You're talking about the House and the Republicans and the.
I'm just opening my mouth and shit's coming up. Excuse me. I'm talking out of my mouth and spirit is saying some things, for entertainment purposes only. I think it's all of that stuff. There's so many things that are going on. It's confusing. Because
I really think the investigations are in touch with each other at a distance.
Yeah.
They're not going to huddle up together, but they are kind of throwing things out saying, when do you think this will happen and that will happen? And what if we line it up like this? Because Trump is going to be it's going to be a world of hurt, and there's just it's going to be fun for all of us.
Well, I agree with you. It does feel, Cleo, like nobody wants to show their full hand.
Right.
They're all sort of going, well, I might have some cards in my hand. Do you have some cards in your hand? Let's play Go Fish and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that could line up.
That, and I think that once everything starts hitting on Trump, it's going to be a snowball effect on all of them. Because once he starts literally going down under some of these charges and indictments that he's going to get hit with, I think he's going to find himself with a lot of damn companies standing in courtrooms.
Can we, there's somebody else that deserves a little attention right now. And I think he's going to have multiple lawsuits too, darn it, just like our fearless leader, Big T.
Tell me it's Jim Jordan.
And that's Miss Lindsay. Miss Lindsay. Can we do a little reading on Miss Lindsay and see how bad is the legal situation going to get for her? And how many, if anyone can figure this out, how many lawsuits are going to be leveled against that beautiful belle of the South?
Miss Lindsay is going to have to leave. I mean, I'm for entertainment purposes only, because I think the Georgia thing is going to stick a big, vampire stake in to Miss Lindsay.
Well, I had great hopes that she was collecting all the information and getting ready to make a difference.
Well, in her heart of hearts, I'm sure that's what she'd like to do. But
oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. What are these cards? These cards, it's like I'm reading for Trump.
whoa.
These cards are a little delusional.
Okay. All right. So Miss Lindsay is getting the 10 of in this deck hazards or pentacles. So she's getting the 10 of pentacles, which usually is a good card. It means lots of money and everything like that. But I think in this case, the legacy that she's being handed is the legacy of Big T. I think that what he's done with the Republican Party, the GOP, is just, it's been too long in the refrigerator. It had too much mayonnaise. It got left out. It's got botulism all over it.
Oh my God.
Cruddy and gross and maggoty. And I think that's what Lindsay's going to be inheriting, because the next card she gets is Judgment. And look at this guy. I love this guy's look. He's like, is that coming down on me? Oh yeah, honey. Oh yeah, Buttercup. That's right on your little pea brain. That's happening there. And then the next thing I get, though, interestingly, is the Devil reversed. In this deck, the Devil is a cigarette machine.
I love that deck.
That is
I
good.
love this deck too. So what does this mean in reverse? Well, I think one thing that it means is that I think Lindsay is going to be probably one of the first that begins to have the gauze taken off of her eyes and begin to see Trump for what he is. And that's when panic has set in. Obviously, she was pretty much crying on the newscast when she was asking for people to send money to Mr. T.
Yeah.
But I think that she is so worried about stuff. And right now she's still in the mode of pretending to be the right hand of the Big T. But I think when the veil falls away from her, oh boy, are you going to see some panic attack action happening there? That's not going to be pretty. It's just, I think it's going to be, poop in the pants time for Lindsay. I mean, I just think it's going to be horrible. Just horrible. I feel so bad for her. So bad.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's what I got.
Yeah. And I pretty much got the same thing, actually. Well, I got the High Priestess coming in, so that's going to be light on the subject and, wisdom.
Yeah.
The Knight of Swords coming in with some, paperwork and things that are going on. This is the Ten of Pentacles. And Lindsay has always wanted to maintain his treasure and hold on to what he's got, and he's looking at it all, and he's worried about his reputation, about his legacy. All those things mean something to him. Her, she, them.
Yeah, I think her pronouns are her and she.
Her and she. Knight of Wands, I feel like there are people on the mission to, bring this era to an end. I don't really need to go down further, except here's Temperance. There's going to be, the balance to the situation is Miss Lindsay taking her toys and going back to, isn't it Kentucky?
I don't know. What state is it?
Georgia. No.
Kentucky
Yeah.
is Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, no. Lindsey Graham is either Georgia or North Carolina. I don't remember which.
Okay.
One of the Carolinas or Georgia. I don't remember which one.
It's not Georgia, because I remember people in the news when they had the phone call. They're like, "Why is he talking to somebody in Georgia? That's not even his state." So I don't think it's Georgia.
Yeah.
It's one of the Carolinas.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The final result from the deck of character, Broken Heart.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, well, I started out with the Eight of Swords. Miss Lindsay is all tied up and feeling the short end of the blade, because Lady Justice is hot on his tail. is coming for him. His obstacles, though, are the 9 of Cups. He thinks he's got all this coming for him that he's going to be able to pull from. No, it's blocked. And then I pulled and I had another reverse card pop out. So
Weird.
Spirit, yeah, he's like, because I don't put them mixed. And I pulled the 10 of Pentacles, which is the dark side of wealth. He signed up for the dark side, and now he's going to have to pay the price, you know? And when it's all said and done with, the Page of Cups is going to be there to collect all that he owes. And he's not going to be a happy camper about it.
Right.
And that's what I got.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, somebody congratulated me for having my first political readings. Thank you. What an adventure. But I think it relates to this is there's going to be a great deal of disappointment because what she thought was true is not.
Yes.
The people she trusted are not trustworthy. And what's going to happen is she's going to need, this is going to make her wiser in an odd way because it's going to not help her. You know how, it's like, we've all had, well, I don't know. Some of us have had, bad relationships. We've gotten out of it and we've learned from it. This is again, I think it's a real hardcore hurt. And it's one of those things that it's like, this one's going to be tough to bounce back from because it's such in the public eye. And I actually feel I'm feeling a bit concerned for her well-being.
Yeah.
Because from a personal level, and I think that's tough.
Yeah. Cleo, you got something?
No,
Okay. I
do not.
That's fine. I pulled a little oracle card for Miss Lindsay, and it's messages from the fairies, and it says, "Admit your truth."
Oh no!
I'll just hold it up. Admit your true feelings to yourself,
Oh.
and then it says, "Be honest with yourself. Only you know what it is that you truly desire." Oh my God. Only you know what you truly desire. Okay. So.
But you know what? I finished it up with a few more cards. This ruler is kind of measuring out everything that's going on in his mind. And he's going to feel like the thief has come along and robbed him of his position and his glory. And he's gonna need a Band-Aid.
Oh yeah, he's gonna need a Band-Aid.
Well, Miss Lindsay has always reminded me of those women who seem to bounce from rich husband to rich husband to rich husband because they seem completely clueless as to how to take care of themselves.
Yeah, and
he tends to do the same thing with leadership people in the Senate. He hops from one sugar daddy to the next sugar daddy to the next sugar daddy, to kind of tuck him under their wing and carry him along for the ride.
So really, you could predict the end of the game would be that wouldn't pan out for him, that playing along that way is going to.
And I was going to say, who among us has not, run out of sugar daddies when their looks fade? Come on. I mean,
I'm still trying to find one.
Poor Lindsay. One shot of Botox shy of a sugar daddy.
You're giving sugar daddies a bad name.
Yes, we are.
You're right. Oh
I
my
think
God.
he really does have a tender heart, and I think he really is going to be devastated with all of
And I, for entertainment purposes only, I actually think I would be very concerned for his well-being. He
Yes.
should probably not be unattended for a while.
Correct. I agree with
Yeah.
you 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made much fun of him, but
Yeah.
this is on an entirely different level with him than it is with all these others.
Because
Yeah.
I have the Four of Wands reversed.
Mhm.
That is a downward spiral rapidly.
Yeah.
And I mean,
He's definitely a tender soul that could be, pretty devastated.
Yeah.
I
He was
would.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's terribly inappropriate.
Okay.
And
If he goes to prison, he will be very popular.
Yes, he will. There is no doubt about that.
Oh, that might boost his spirits a little bit.
It'll boost something.
Exactly.
Sorry.
But I do.
he'll be looking for lots of bars of soap. That's for damn sure.
That's right. That's right.
Hi, Craig.
But
Hey,
there's
Craig.
he's set his life up to be very sad. He doesn't have someone that we see that really cares about him like a partner. And so, sure, he gloms onto these stronger people. I tell you, I think he reached his peak when he was friends with John McCain. Then
Yeah.
he was able to show that soft and tender side, the part of him that really felt compassion for people. But man, when he glommed onto Trump, that was a bad day in his life.
Yes.
It was bad, bad, bad.
Yeah.
Well, he did a 360 overnight.
Because
Yeah.
they don't like him. It was public knowledge he wasn't a fan of the Trump
Yeah.
people. And then, he heard the wind or smelled what was in the air with the wind and something.
Yeah.
Well, it was because if Trump was going to be president, then Lindsay had to be on board with that.
Correct. Exactly.
Which just made me always wonder what type of enticement did Trump or his people dangle in front of Lindsay to get him to do that complete 360 overnight.
It would be something threatening to him, threatening to his career.
They say for entertainment purposes only, they had pictures.
Yeah.
Of a party where he had his princess costume on. As lady of the,
I don't understand why all these Republicans who want to drag drag queens through the mud, but yet they've got their own closeted drag queen outfit. Why not just come out and join the party? Hell, everybody's happier,
Yeah, and it would be so much more fun.
Isn't that the truth?
Okay, but realize what you're saying. In the world right now, doing that is
and you're in the
actually
GOP, it's like suicide.
it's like signing your death warrant, or it could actually be very difficult.
Yeah.
You wanna,
Well, and that's why, I belong to one of the groups I do on campus that's we're called Project Allies, where we provide safe space for our LGBTQ students. Because the department I work in, the majority of our students come from the Middle East or in that area. And, them coming out or even admitting it is a death sentence.
yeah, it is.
And so that's something I want to make sure I protected.
In their own families.
From their own family. I mean, they would be cut off. I mean, because most of these kids come from very wealthy families in order for them to come to school in America, And
Yeah,
It's very hard.
it's very
it
hard.
is hard.
But
And it shouldn't be,
no.
It shouldn't be. People should just be accepted for who they are and who they love and how they live.
Absolutely.
It doesn't affect you in any way at all, unless you're the recipient of that love. And then why would that be a bad thing? you know,
Yep,
I'll get off my soapbox.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree.
absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
Well,
So
this has kind of gone on for almost getting close to 2 hours.
yeah.
It's
So
been.
should we go for 2 more? Is that what you're saying?
I am. If I could just grab something to eat and
And
Yeah,
my
I gotta
bladder won't last 2 more hours.
Well, just hide your camera. Cleo, do you need me to ship you something to eat? Because I can get another drink. We can go for another couple of hours. I mean, I don't know if Colleen will invite me back, but it's been great.
Tarot Stash, that's really presumptuous of you to say that on camera because, like, I was thinking about it, but now I don't know.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm psychic.
Blow my mind.
Oh,
My
here,
mind is
here.
blown.
Let me clean the room. It's okay.
Yes.
Everybody take a breath. Ah, yes. You have
That's
the
what I
power
needed.
within you at all times to go back home. It's okay.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
click my ruby slippers.
Like, share, and subscribe. Okay, I'm all right now. Okay.
Breathe in, like. Breathe out, share. Take another breath in, subscribe.
That's right. That's right. There we go. There we go.
I'm totally using that for an intro.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think that's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Nobody listens to the intro anyway, so we can all do it. I think it's a good idea.
I was going to say we need to make a generic one, Gerald, that we can all use since it was kind of all of our ideas.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And it all happened here on April Fool's PoliTarology.
There you go.
That's right. PoliTarology.
Thank you.
The Cool Crone.
Thank you. Yay.
Like and subscribe.
Yay.
Oh, that's so great. So thank you guys for coming and being silly with me. Thank you for all your readings. And, Cleo, my hat goes off to you reading the tarot for the first time on camera.
I got a new card. This is my new card for the ending of it.
I
have
love
no
it.
idea what it means, but this is my new. I just pulled this. This means something.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that's a good card. That's a 10 of cups.
It's one of the best cards.
It's one of the good ones.
So let's just go around. Everybody say goodbye in their own way, and then we'll wrap this up. Go ahead, Stash. Kick us off.
Bye.
Thank you.
Queen Goddess Isis, aka Val Dragonfly Crystals, signing off.
Love to everybody.
I am so happy. So many people showed up. There's so many people on the chat. This was great. This was funny. This was fun. And I'm, like I said, I got this. It's a happy card. And
Yay.
next time I will read maybe 3 or 4 cards.
And I did put it in my phone that this is your anniversary day of reading a tarot card.
Thank you. So. All right.
That's great. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for being my friends, and thank you for coming here. Gerald, you were just spectacular. I'm so glad we got to include you, and I'm so glad you could come. And all you other guys, I know you before. No, I'm kidding. I'm very happy for all of you to be here. And now I have to go to the bathroom, so we have to sign off. Okay.
All right. Please.
All right, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.